Yeah, so really quick, a question kind of came in on that, kind of even before, again, we are making the case for life, but Susan
Yeah.
commented here and said, let's see, how would you respond to someone that tells you that we as Christians have a right to be pro-life, but we shouldn't take away someone's legal right to believe and decide what they want? So they have the legal right, it's legal, same with physician-assisted
Hmm.
suicide. Who are we as Christians to try and take away that legal
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think, okay, I gotcha. I think that what we're looking at here, because there's a question of morality and legality here, then they're
Hmm.
kind of crossing over. What it sounds like to me, hi Susan, by the way, is is that we do live in a culture where something called moral relativism has taken over. And that is the view that morality is not something that is real, that exists independently of us as individuals, but rather it's up to us as individuals to decide for ourselves. It's a particular kind of moral relativism. So, in other words, that's kind of what you're hearing there. You can believe what you want. You
Yeah.
can believe what's right and wrong for you, but you can't push that on other people, whether legally or morally. And I think there's some crossover there in this question. What I find interesting with that is I don't think moral relativism really works all that well. In fact, I don't think it works out as far as a livable worldview. But um, when it comes to something like, gosh, we'll think about issues that are going on right now. Let me use this example. There is a tagline out there that fits right into this, where people will say, if you don't like abortion, then don't have one. It fits right into this because it's saying if you don't like it yourself, you don't have to have one, but don't force other people to make that choice or whatever according to your beliefs. Francis Beckwith would say, what if that tagline read, oh, you don't like slavery, then don't own one? Or you don't like spousal abuse, then don't abuse your spouse. See, those are moral issues as well, but no one's treating those as if they are up to the individual to decide for him or herself. But they do that with abortion, which is why I said at the beginning there's a lot surrounding abortion to where it's treated differently than other moral issues. And I know that there are reasons for that, but maybe that brings some clarity. So, Susan, what I would say is that we are talking about a moral issue and morality. Different conversation than we intended to get into here, Ryan, but morality I don't think is up to the individual to decide. I do think that there are real rights and wrongs that we are all beholden to. And there are others who have made wonderful cases for this. I'd point to C.S. Lewis in Mere Christianity, who I think his writing is excellent when it comes to pointing out the similarities that are there. And also the book by Greg Koukl, who we mentioned a few minutes ago, and Francis Beckwith, Relativism, Feet Firmly Planted in Midair. So
Yeah.
maybe we can throw those up in the chat as well, Susan, so that can help. But because that is the case, when we make a case for our pro-life views, I'm not talking about my preferences. Whether or not the unborn are being killed is not up to me, my preferences to tell you that that's happening. That's why we're going to make a case that appeals to science and philosophy, not religion per se,
Yeah.
when we talk about our pro-life views. So maybe as we go, some more clarity will come from that. But I do want to point out that it's actually quite a humble position to hold. Me saying in this culture, I think that I'm right about this, and I think that those who disagree with me are wrong, sounds very arrogant, and I know that because I live in the culture, and I hear the discourse that goes on. But what I'm actually saying is, I hold an objective position here, and I have evidence for the position that I hold, and I think that it is an excellent position based on the evidence. But because objective views are true independently of me, that means that objective conjectures or objective statements can be right or wrong, true or false. So I might be wrong about all of it.
Hmm.
I don't think that I am, but I might be. That means that I submit that to the person I'm speaking to or to the audience I'm speaking to. But the way that discourse goes is that they have to then bring forward evidence from their view in order to have a real discourse about it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the evidence as we go here.
Yeah, and I think that's so good because I think it's Frank Turek that says something. It's like it's not just my morality; it's the morality, right? We're
Yeah.
making an appeal, and it's people don't like to compare it to math because well, that's it's moral truths, and so those people have differing opinions on, but it's the same thing as 2 + 2 is 4. We're talking about as an objective fact of the
Yeah.
reality, and so no one says, well,
Yeah.
that's just your opinion you're trying to force on me. We realize it's everyone trying to discover truth, and you could get into scientific things we disagree about, but no one again is saying this is your opinion you're forcing on me. It's we're trying to figure out what is true about reality. Same thing
Yeah.
is true here with morality. Our culture doesn't like to think about it in the same terms as a
Mhm.
scientific or mathematical objective truth, but that's kind of the point that we're making.